name is Frederick Zollicoffer Jackson, Sr. I was born in Pella County in 1856. I lived, my house was over there at the intersection of North Natchez and Washington Street, across from what you know as the Lily D. Brown house, across from what you used to know as Jared Furniture. They tore my nice white 3-story house down, built a concrete block office building. And I'll let you figure that one out. My wife and I had 9 children, 3 girls and 6 boys. Some of you may recall some of my grandsons. Dodie Jackson Jr., mayor of Kosciusko. Chapman Jackson Jr. was an attorney, city judge, and a district attorney. Claude H. Jackson, medical doctor. Claude Woodard was a attorney and financial consultant. And then my grandson Raymond Jackson, who still lived here in Kosciusko. I'm going to tell you a few things as we walk up to what we call the Jackson end of the square, and then we'll spend more time up there. You see that on each building we have posted what other businesses were here in previous years. This was Shelton's Pure Oil Station, barber shop. Many of you remember the Smart Shop, and then Claude Gunter bought it, and it's been Claude Julian's for approximately 20 years now. This is a painting that a grandson of mine did of me, which I think is a very good likeness. If you would, let's step on up and we'll talk about these other bits. It is. You're welcome to wait. All the way to the end of the work. Thank you. Thank you. And if you remember Clayton Thornton Head Shop, Claude Julian was here before he got the Smart Shop building, and Bloomers has been here for about 10 years now. Many of you probably did a lot of shopping up here because this was the J.C. Penney building. Long before that, it was Keen's Cafe, Stingley and Jordan Furniture, Penny's, Wildlands, all the special treasures. Richard Carter, young attorney here in town, has bought the building. He's now living upstairs and remodeling downstairs for his new office space. Shoe store for 4 generations, really. Leeds, Bells, Cleveland, Lloyd Shoes. Many of you may remember Lloyd when he had his place here. Precious Unlimited, and for about 10 years, Jim Day Jewelry. This is Brooks' Style Shop, originally. Joseph's Style Shop, and if you remember, Range's department store, Mid-64 Central, and Keller Photography is what it is now. I've got seat benches over here. If y'all would like to come out here, sit down, I'll tell you about businesses that were here. This is what they call the Jackson end of the block. I started working here in 1880 for Meek and Pop's dry goods store.
Hold 1 second, please.
All right. In 1880, I went to work here for Pots and Meeks Dry Goods. In 1885, Groves Mabry and I went into partnership with the dry goods business. In 1890, I bought him out, and then the dry goods was right down there. About 1906, I became the president of the Kosciusko Bank, which was right back here. Kosciusko Bank. I was president of the Kosciusko Bank from 1906 to 1934. My son, Frederick Jackson Jr., opened a grocery store over here. It was the Volunteer grocery store at one time. It was a Jitney Jungle grocery store at another time. It was a Piggly Wiggly at one time. He was there for a long time, maybe 30 years. It was noted for having a coffee pot on the outside of the building. Now, back then they roasted the coffee in the store, and they could roast up to 35 pounds at a time. But when they brought it out of the roaster, it would keep on cooking unless you stopped it. Well, the way you would stop it would be to pour cold water on the hot beans. And that, of course, would cause steam to come up and smell like fresh coffee. So they couldn't have that inside the store, so they vented it to the outside. And Junior had the clever idea, and he got together with Mike Mitchell out at Mitchell Metal Products and had him build a coffee pot. Some say it was 8 feet tall, some say it was 10 feet tall, mounted above the entrance to the store. You're getting ahead of it. They piped the steam out into the coffee pot and up into the spout. So when they were roasting coffee, you could see steam coming out the spout of the coffee pot, and you could smell coffee all over on this side of the square. On one Saturday, Raymond Mabry tells me they sold 750 pounds of coffee. In the back of the store, my son Dodie started an insurance business, and Dodie passed this on down to his son, Dodie Jr. And it became the Jackson and Jackson Insurance. Later on, become Jackson and Renfro. Later on, Danny Ryder, who owned Jackson and Renfro, merged with Tyler King and Ryder. Now it's Renaissance Bank. So that's the Jackson connection. Another Jackson connection here. Another story that I like to tell is that I always had 2 or 3 cows, kept them in pasture down by Hollis Cheek's house on South Huntington Street. And they would bring the cows up in the afternoon, at night, and would milk them, and milk them again the next morning to take them back down to pasture. Sometimes my grandsons, Raymond and Frederick, would go down and get the cows and bring them back, and I'd hear reports, and sometimes I'd see them, that they had been riding the backs of those cows up or down Huntington Street. And you better believe I fussed at them good when I heard they'd been riding my cows. The bank prospered. Things were going well here in Kosciusko during the 1920s. In the 1930s, the depression hit, and unfortunately we had to close the bank in 1934. I wrote a letter and posted it on the door of the bank to all of my depositors, apologizing to them for the bank closing and assuring them upon my honor that they would get all of their money, all of their deposits back. I had to liquidate a lot of what I owned, and at the time the receiver foreclosed on properties, but the family tradition is that all of the depositors at the Kosciusko Bank did get their money back. Well, I've enjoyed talking with you all tonight. If you would, my time has run out, and Mr. A.E. Kelly here is going to tell you about the Littleton store and also the fire that burned down all my buildings.